Hello everyone. In this video we're going to talk about the second half of chapter 21 of Isaiah, which has two oracles. These are very short oracles, but these are two independent oracles. Before we dive in, I will say chapter 21 began with the oracle on Babylon, the wilderness of the sea, which is Babylon. And these two oracles that we're going to talk about in this video are connected to Babylon. And how so? Remember in the previous video how I said Babylon was under Assyria. Assyria was the real kingdom up there. Babylonians were the vassal state. Babylon keep sending envoys to all over the region to rise up against Assyria. And however, the process of sending their messengers was not easy because Assyria had such a tight grip on the northern Mesopotamia that Babylon has to send their envoys through the southern route, through the desert. Of course, less pleasant to walk through a desert than this fertile crescent, but they did so, and there are ancient routes, the trade routes that connected these regions through the desert. But anyway, so Babylon is sending their messengers to Judah and other countries, and they have to go through the region that we'll be talking about in this video, Dumah, Arabia, Kedar, and so on. So the fall of these regions really will impact the fall of Babylon, which was prophesied earlier in the previous video as a discouragement to Judah from associating herself with Babylon. So these destruction oracles that we'll be talking about here further supports the idea that was spoken that Judah should not associate herself with Babylon. Okay, let's dive in. The oracle concerning Dumah. Let's pause here. Didn't get very far. Dumah, some Bibles have Edom. And it's because Dumah, as people translated in history into Greek, they sometimes some manuscripts translate it into Idumea. Idumea is the Greek word for Edom. But Dumah, sounds similar. Dumah, Idumea. And then now it's translated back into English as Edom. However, I think Dumah is the more original reading because Dumah, there are cities called Dumah, which this oracle is about. And also Dumah means silence. Silence is what this is the silence is the characteristic of this oracle, as we'll see. The morning comes, night also. The oracle doesn't tell us anything. Who's coming, when the enemy is coming, what's going to happen, is it hope or darkness? Nothing is really told, as we'll see. So I think there's a play on word with Dumah, silence, and the city, of course, which the oracle is about. So I don't think, and many scholars also text critically, manuscript-wise, Dumah is the favored one. So where is Dumah? Dumah, first of all, was the son of Ishmael in Genesis 25. And so on. But Dumah, the location is a little unclear. There is a Dumah in Edom. Some say that's why Septuagint has Idumea, because Dumah is in Edom, so why not just call it Idumea? Once again, I disagree with that view. But there's also another Dumah, like a 300 miles southeast of Jerusalem. So in modern day Saudi Arabia, so way into the desert. And it was on a trade route that connected north-south trade route with east and west trade route. So it was like in a very the center of the trade routes that connected these regions through the desert, and that's why there was a city. Also, there was an oasis there. It's Dumah el-Jandar in modern day, but that's where I will understand it to be in this video. So what's happening to Dumah? One is calling to me from Seir, watchman, what time of the night? Watchman, what time of the night? The repetition of this question twice shows the urgency. Verse 12, the watchman says, morning comes, and also the night. If you will inquire, come back again. Once again, chapters 21 through 23 are very obscure and cryptic, and feel free to disagree with my interpretation, but I understand this as Dumah is struggling somehow politically, enemies are coming or something. So messengers coming to the prophet Isaiah But he goes through Seir. The region Seir is Edom. So he goes through it. That's why it says, one is calling to me from Seir. And he's asking, watchman, Mr. Isaiah, what time of the night? Meaning, when is the night going to go away? When's the sunlight coming? When's the brightness coming? And the watchman, Isaiah says, morning comes and also the night. In other words, okay, morning is coming, but darkness is also coming. So is it hope? Do they have a bright future or is it dark future? Well, it's kind of both. There's both. So it's not really a message of hope or doom, but it's obscure, but nothing good completely, okay? And it says, if you'll inquire, inquire. Come back again. So he sends him back, says, maybe Isaiah doesn't have enough information given by the Lord at this time to tell them anything more. But it says, just come back again. I just know light and darkness are coming, but that's all I can say. So once again, this is a silent oracle. It's an oracle, but it's silent. But thinking about the message of it is really about, don't trust Edom. They're doomed. They're not in a good situation. Judah, you have no reason to rely on Edom because they have no brighter future than you do. Trust in God. Okay, so that was an oracle on Dumah. Let's move on to oracle concerning Arabia. Verse 13. The oracle concerning Arabia. In the thickets in Arabia you will lodge, O caravans of Didonites. To the thirsty bring water. Meet the fugitive with bread, O inhabitants of the land of Tema. For they have fled from the swords, from the drawn swords, from the bent bow, and from the press of battle. All right, Arabia is being spoken of. And in the thickets in Arabia you will lodge, O caravans of Didonites. So Didonites are for some reason going to be dwelling in Arabia. And the thickets, the word thickets is Ya'ar in Hebrew, which means forest. And people ask, are there really forests in Arabia? Isn't that desert land? There could be a tone of sarcasm here. Hey, Didonites, go to the so-called, quote-unquote, forests of Arabia. So prophesying something terrible that's going to happen to them. Verse 14, to the thirsty bring water, meet the fugitive with bread, O inhabitants of the land of Tema. But Tema is told to receive the refugees and kind of provide them with some basic needs. For they have fled from the swords, from the drawn sword, from the bent bow, from the press of battle. Because they are suffering from the battle, they're running away. So kind of be nice to them. Okay. However, verse 16, for thus the Lord said to me, within a year, according to the years of a hired worker, all the glory of Kedar will come to an end. This whole region, Kedar is not a city. Dedan and Tema are cities, but Kedar is a region that has all these cities that's mentioned. Dumah, Tema, and Dedan are located. Kedar will come to an end. So all this region are going to be destroyed. And the remainder of the archers, of the mighty men, of the sons of Kedar will be few, for the Lord, the God of Israel, has spoken. Their military is going to be destroyed. Once again, what's happening here? Judah, don't trust in Arabia. Don't trust in these cities far there. Even though they are taking refugees in, they seem to be nice and kind, helping people. Don't place your hope in that you're going to be also able to receive help from them, because their ultimate end is destruction. Okay? That's the message the hearers of Isaiah's sermon would have picked up, or would have been expected to pick up. So, once again, these regions are closely tied with Babylon because they provide the route to reach to Judah from Babylon. And this destruction of Dumah and Arabia, once again, support the whole broader thought of chapter 21, that they should not trust in Babylon because they are all going to be doomed as well. So this is what chapter 21 is all about.